Schwing Dynasty. It's your boy, Kamish. Lord of the Schwings Dynasty, Papa Schwing here. Trying to keep it down a little bit. It is late for a video. I got this new puppy. We got my son. We got all this stuff going on. So this is when I have time to talk to you guys right now. Even on my lunch breaks now, I have to race home from school, let the pup out of the cage, out of the crate, feed him, get him a potty break. We got the neighbors helping out with some morning time activity, afternoon activity. They've been a godsend. It's incredible. Very nice people. And they're just doing it because they want to spend some time with the puppy. She's retired psychologist. He's a retired pastor or something. And they just really want a puppy and they can't do it right now. So they're coming over every single day. And they have a little key for our house and they come in and let him out, play with him. It's incredible. They asked if they could do it. We're like, oh, yeah, absolutely, rather than the dog sitting inside all day. So anyway, so that's what's going on. But all day, every day, pretty busy right now. But I always find time for my Schwing brothers, and that's what I'm doing for you guys right now, finding time for you. So got a double header here for you. I've got the recap from last week with the best ball lineup as well, and I've got this week's picks. I got to do it all in one shot today. So trying to get it done, trying to get it in for you guys. Never stop working. That's what people say, I guess. That's a Head and Shoulders thing, I believe. One of the podcasts I listen to uses that, never stop working. So anyways, my commish picks this week, not as good as week one when I went undefeated. This week I was 2-3, which brings me to 7-3 on the year, thanks to the strong week one. Still in pretty good shape here, but certainly did not see some of these upsets coming this week, or victories coming this week. Bert kind of saved me. Steve saved my pick record, Bert and Phil. Anyways, let's jump right in with what was the game of the week. Didn't turn out to be too great of one, thanks to a big letdown by the Albuquerque Janes. Probably time for a name change, Daryl. So we had the Albuquerque Janes against Oregon Beer Force. I think he was riding high on that first week. Didn't want to change things up, change the franchise name up right there. Maybe now's a good time. Maybe now's when you're going to want to change that up. Not be Bert's farm team anymore. Let's try to be a high level team again. Anyways, so Beer Force won. I picked the Janes to win this one. Beer Force got the victory. That was one of my losses. It ended up being 134 to 162. Neither one of them hit their projection. They weren't even really close to their projections. 28-point difference in favor of Mark. That takes Daryl up to down to 1-1. Mark up to 2-0, off to a hot start. Player of the game in this one, Tyler Lockett, no question about it. 31.8 points. Russell had a good game. Russ had a good game too. He's at about 28 points, but for Lockett to come through with 31 points was incredible. The dumb sit, we've heard Daryl talking about his bench players. The dumb sit on this one was Tony Pollard for sure. 28.6 points. He could have played him over Myles Gaskin, who got 9.8 for a difference of 18.4 points. Wouldn't have won him the game. Would have made it about 162 to 152, but certainly more respectable. Yeah, the letdown on this one, Tyreek Hill. So not Gaskin. Gaskin had 9.8 points. Letdown was Tyreek. So 6 points after that huge week one. Tough stuff. I mean, he needed, he's got that Mahomes Tyreek stack, and Mahomes always comes through, it seems like, but not this time for Tyreek. Did not get, I don't know how that happens. How's that guy get 6 points? He's always open. So anyways, Mark gets the win. Congratulations, 2-0. Daryl, better luck this week. Well, it is late. All right, next game we're going to look at is my game, Lord of the Schwings versus Sean's Portland Ducks. Sean got the victory in this one. I projected myself. I was projected to win by about 16 points. I failed to hit my projection by about 50 points. Sean, meanwhile, was projected to get about 190 something. He got 187. failed to meet his projection, so it ends up 160 to 187. Player of the week is Tom Brady. I mean, my goodness gracious, 41.89 points in this week. I have Tom Brady in 4 leagues, not even like 4 other leagues that I have Tom Brady in. And he won me weeks. He won me weeks for sure. Yeah, 41.89 points, man. The guy's incredible. Let down was Dak, my quarterback, 8.5 points. Just nothing compared to what I expect Dak Prescott to do this season. I'm fine with Pollard and Zeke both getting over 20 points, but let's not have that be at the expense of Dak Prescott. The dumb sit in this one, Hollywood Brown with 23.3 points over Allen Robinson's 10.9, which is about 13-point difference. Yeah, it's big. It would not have got me the win, 173 to 187 instead, but, you know, 13 more points. So if you told me that my 4 running backs were going to score 85 points, including a 20-point Devin Singletary game, and I lost, especially lost by 27 points, I would not have believed it. Unbelievable. Dak and Waller were my letdowns here. My defense too, not very good, but yeah. So congrats to Sean. He goes to 2-0. I dropped to 1-1. Looking to rebound this week. Next match is the Hanoi Janes versus the Paler Broncos. Bert versus Steve. This was an incrediable game. This was amazing. We need to take a moment to understand how amazing Derrick Henry was in this game. He got 56.45 points, rushed the ball 35 times for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns. That is just beast mode. And he added 6 catches for 55 yards, and somehow Steve lost this game. The final ended up being 226.3 to 224.6. If you saw my little message before the Monday night games, I said Bert had to have Aaron Jones score 24 points and then score, on top of those 24 points, 1/10 of a point more than whatever Davante Adams scored. So 24 points plus Davante Adams' score plus 1/10 of a point to win this. And he got that plus 2 more points. So unbelievable performance by Aaron Jones. Unbelievable comeback watching that game. The player of the game is still Derrick Henry. I know he didn't get the win, but he's the player of the week. 56.45 points. Sorry to give away the player of the week thing there, but man, talk about being valuable to your team. That's valuable to your team. Letdown was Robbie Anderson for Steve-O, 6.8 points, and Juju was the dumb sit over Robbie, so that Juju got 16.65 points. Would have won the game. Would have been possibly a league high all-time score. I don't know. Sean follows those things pretty close. So would have been an incredible week for him. But as it goes, Steve drops to 0-2. Very surprising. Although he got me first week, Bert this second week. Rough start. He doesn't have an easy matchup this week either. The Janes are 2-0. The Broncos are 0-2, unlike in real life. All right, next game we got Duck the Vax versus Pick and Jerry's Berries. This is an old swing rivalry. Phil versus Adam. The Duck the Vax got the victory here is 141.5 to 126.3. So like a 15-point difference. Player of the game in this one, TJ Hawkinson, 20 points. Not too exciting when the high score in the game is 141. I believe Phil would have lost to everyone else except for Lucas this week. Yeah, it looks like Lucas is... Oh no, Daryl too. Yeah, he would have beat Daryl and Lucas and Adam. So it would have beat 3 teams. Let's see, whatever. Letdown was Brandon Ayuk, still 2.12 points. I know KJ Hamler scored less, but I'm giving the letdown to Brandon Ayuk because it's 2 weeks in a row. Not producing, probably because I bought his jersey. So, sorry, Adam. I guess I did that to you. The dumb sit in this one is Michael Carter. Sat on the bench, 13.5 points. He could have put him in the flex over KJ Hamler, who got 1.5 points. So that would have been a 12-point difference, and the game would have ended up being 141 to 138. Phil still winning, but a very close contest at that point. So it would have been made it more interesting. Phil gets the victory, 1-1. Adam drops to 0-2. And I believe, the last one for the last week was Riddle Me This, Lucas versus Cali Style, JD. Ended up being 135 for Lucas to 142 for JD. JD gets a big early season victory. Definitely needed that. Goes to 1-1. Lucas drops to 0-2. Not good. Not in a good spot right now. Player of the game in this one, LaMarvelous Jackson, for sure. 40.2 points. Incredible Monday night game. Sunday night game. Maybe it was Sunday night game. Incredible Sunday night game. Just willing his team to victory. Just like Derrick Henry took the Titans into Seattle and somehow willed his team to a victory. Lamar did the same thing. He wanted that game over Mahomes, and he got it. The letdown this game for Lucas was Nyheim Hines. 3.45 points after a good week one. And the dumb sit was Rondell Moore. 25.86 points. Over the flex of Hines, who had the 3.45, that's about a 22-point swing. Would have made Lucas's week look very respectable, and he would have gotten the win, and he would be 1-1, while JD would be 0-2. But it's not what happened. So Lucas drops to 0-2, and JD goes to 1-1. All right, best ball rundown. The week 2 high scores. Congrats to JD on the high score of the week at 196. Phil at 194, and yours truly at 193. The low scores this week, Mark was the lowest at 125, Adam the next lowest at 144, and the year leaders are Phil with 397, Lucas with 396, and JD with 393. Very, very close at the top. Very, very close at the top. All right, moving into week 3 matchups. We have 3 old Schwing rivalry matchups. So this is almost like a mini rivalry week right here. Let's get started with my matchup because, again, my games show up top. So Lord of the Schwings is taking on Pick and Jerry's Berries. This is not an old rivalry week, although it is me versus my brother, me versus Adam. I am currently sitting at 1-1. Adam is at 0-2. My projection is 209.65. High score projection of the week. Didn't work out for me last week, so hopefully it's a little bit better for me this week. Adam's projection is 160, so I'm projected to win this game by 50 points. The key matchup is Chris McCaffrey Thursday night against the Houston Texans defense. Projected for 28.8 points there. And then Zeke against Philadelphia. So McCaffrey gets cupcake, but on Thursday night. Zeke is going against Philly, rival, a conference or a divisional rival, getting about 20 points. Adam has to have Zeke beat McCaffrey to have a chance in this game. If McCaffrey does what he does, if he wins this matchup, I don't think I can. I mean, I can lose this matchup, of course I can, but I think Adam needs Zeke to beat McCaffrey, which can happen. The guy can still put up points, but I think that's the best route for Adam to get this victory, to get this upset. I don't see it happening. I'm going to win this. That's my projection. So I have myself going to 2-1, Adam dropping to 0-3, and angling towards that first pick next year. So next game we're looking at, the Hanoi Janes versus Duck the Vax, Bert versus Phil. The Janes are 2-0. Duck the Vax is 1-1. The projection here is 202 for Bert. I believe that's the second highest points this week. I have to take a peek forward here. Yes, it looks like it. Duck the Vax projected for 177. Key matchup, Phil's wide receivers have to beat Bert's wide receivers if he wants any chance at an upset. Bert's rolling out Nuke, D-Hop, Cup, Cooper Kupp, amazing this year, incredible this year, and Robert Woods. And he's projected at about 55 points. Devontae Smith for Phil with A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson for 48 points. Right now, it's not looking good, but of course not, because the score projections show Burt winning. Phil has to have a wide receiver upset. He needs that. He needs his wide receivers to beat Burt's in order to pull this upset. It doesn't happen. Burt gets the win. Moving on. Burt would go 3-0. And Duck the Vax would go to 1-2. Tough opening season schedule for Phil, for Phil as well there with Sean, and he got the win last week over Adam, and then to go against Burt right after that. So not an easy opening run. All right, game 3. This is an old Schwing rivalry. Riddle me this, Lucas against OBF Oregon Beer Force Mark. Going in opposite directions right now. Lucas is down to 0-2. Mark is rolling high at 2-0. The projection has Mark favored slightly, 177 to 170. Lucas's projections have been much higher so far than his final score. The key in this one is James Robinson. That's part of why Lucas's projections are always much higher, because James Robinson isn't coming close to his projections. He's consistently 2/3 of his projection or less. Lucas needs him to score a lot. He needs him to score a lot more points in this one, him specifically. Seattle's at Minnesota. Okay, so that means all of Mark's players are at Minnesota, basically. It's an afternoon game. They're not going to stop scoring at this point. Not yet. It'll probably happen. They usually do that, but not yet. They will keep cooking, and projected Mark to get a much more comfortable win than this projection would show. A much more comfortable win than 177 to 170. So Mark would go to 3-0, Lucas to 0-3, also angling potentially for that number 1 pick. Okay. Next game is Cali Style, JD, against the currently named Albuquerque Janes. Daryl, they are both 1-1. Gotten there in some different ways, through some different struggles and victories. But JD is projected to lose this game by 27 points, 162 to 189. The key matchup and the fun matchup in this one is Lamar versus Mahomes. Okay, so they played on the real field last week. This week they're playing against each other on our field, the Schwing field. JD needs to have a victory there. Lamar needs to have a victory over Mahomes, but I'll be honest, Sunday night game, I don't know why I keep saying that. Maybe Lamar has a little hangover from that riding high there. I mean, we'll see. I don't know if JD has that in the pocket there. He needs Cordarrelle Patterson to score big versus the Giants too. I think the Mahomes-Hill connection will be there this week. It usually is. I can't imagine Tyreek getting 6 points again. So the Janes are going to come out with a victory here. Probably. I don't mind this projection, actually. JD, I could see his score being a little bit lower, but I could see Daryl's being a little bit lower, or 230 points again. Why not? So, but I got the Janes getting the victory, moving to 2-1. Cali Style goes to 1-2. And the game of the week. Who's left over? That's Sean versus Burt. Brother-in-laws. Old Schwing rivalry again. Portland D, 2-0 to start the season. Very well done. Paler Broncos, 0-2 to start the season. Surprising until you see the opponent list. Right now, Steve is projected to win this game. The Paler Broncos, are projected to win this game 190 to 186. Very close projection. I think the game will be very close. Key here is two positional keys. Jonathan Taylor versus Eckler, whoever wins that, and Terry McLaurin versus Devontae Adams, whoever wins that. At QB, we got Tom Brady against Sam Darnold. To me, that's a big win for Brady, but Darnold is playing Houston on Thursday night, so we'll see. Right now, Brady is projected to win that 27-23. At running back, you've got Najee Harris and Jonathan Taylor-Thomas for Sean against Derrick Henry and Austin Eckler. Henry going up against Indianapolis, so that's a big matchup for me to watch out for. They have, India's a good defense. And then a wide receiver, you've got McLaurin, Cooper, and DJ Moore projected for 50 points for Sean, and you've got Devontae Adams, Courtland Sutton, and Juju projected at slightly more than 50 for Steve. You got tight ends, good matchup here. Could be. Mark Andrews hasn't done anything yet, but that doesn't mean he's not a 3-touchdown game this week, something like that. He's projected for 13 points, while Travis Kelce, Steve's, consistent, constant kind of number one tight end for the last 5 years, projected for 19 points. I can't tell what I wrote down here, honestly. That's obviously an advantage Steve until I see otherwise. But then the flex, he's got Sean has Jamar Chase and Michael Pittman at 30 points, while Steve's looking at Chase Claypool and Robbie Anderson for 26 points. And I think that is going to be the difference in this game. I think that those work out real well for Sean, and I think that's going to get him the upset in this one. So I'm picking the upset. I'm picking Sean to beat Steve in the game of the week this week. And that is it. That's all of our matchups this week. So, wow. Is it possible I did the full recap of last week, best ball rundown, and the matchups this week in 22 minutes? And someone's still judging me. Despite my victories, I still get judged. I'm doing this at, late for me, taking care of puppy poops. But still, all my accomplishments, I just get judged in my own home. Anyways, I think she's proud of me sometimes. Yeah. But I gotta redo this whole video. Great. Gotta redo the whole thing. No. Awesome. No. All right. That's it, guys. I can't believe that was only 22 minutes. Now I feel like something happened and like my recording cut out or something. Hopefully not. All right. Peace out, Shwing Dynasty. Love you guys. Good luck this weekend. Games start tomorrow night or tonight. I won't upload this till Thursday, so you'll be seeing it at the earliest Thursday. Okay. Bye. Push on the little bruised and battered. Oh Lord, I ain't coming home with you. My life's a bit more colder. Dead wife is what I told her. Brass knife sinks to my shoulder. Oh babe, don't know what I'm gonna do. I see my redhead misspent tear shed cream beam and squeeze. The stage smells, tells, hell spells, misspells, knocks me on my knees. It didn't hurt, flirt, blood squirt, stuff shirt like me on a tree.